How many people here, I assume you guys have Googled yourself, right? Yeah, so we all do it. I do it. I do it because I have a website called ArthurJCarlson.com, and I Google myself just because I want to see where my website shows up on Google. And my website shows up, second page, 10 links down. That's what my website is. On the first page, 4 links down, is an article called Arthur Carlson, Child Molester. I always bring my cards wherever I go because the most terrifying phrase in my life is, I'll look you up. I chose Arthur J. Carlson, not ArthurJCarlson.com, child molester. That makes no sense. No, I chose ArthurJCarlson.com because there's already an ArthurCarlson.com. And it's run by a real estate agent in California. His link is the link directly below Arthur Carlson Child Molester. Which means, and I think this is kind of awesome, there is a guy in California who cannot figure out why his clientele is made up of only middle-aged men looking for a soundproof basement. It's true. Everything I said tonight is true. I'm always, here, this is the thing. I'm a horrible liar. I'm god-awful at it. But I'll let you know a little secret. I am a worse truth teller. I am horrible at telling the truth. One time, this guy sitting next to me in class, he was cheating on the test, left his cheat sheet, and the teacher came up and accused me and said, is this your cheat sheet? My answer was, that? No. You think that's, no, that's not mine. I went to detention for 2 weeks, and I didn't do it. Now, as I told you, I'm married. I love my wife. I love my wife to death. I am not going to cheat on my wife. But I am really scared I'm going to do something that makes it look like I've been cheating on my wife. The other day, I was getting really drunk, and I live in Brooklyn. I didn't want to go home to Brooklyn because I had to record the podcast the next day. As you heard about it, it's called the Check Spot. Our motto is, if you're not listening to the Check Spot, you're a Nazi. You know what? If you are, you can be a Nazi and listen to the Check Spot. We don't care. But anyway, so I decided to just sleep in my office instead of going home. And the next day, I have to read you the email that I sent my wife the next day. Hey, sweetheart. Man, last night was really crazy. I ended up just going to my office and sleeping on the floor. I woke up with a really bad hangover, but I'm sure that what made it worse was the fact that I was in my office sleeping on the floor, and that's all. Hey, sweetheart, why don't we have a date night tomorrow night? We'll go to a movie, we'll have some dinner. I'll tell you, we won't sleep in the office on the floor, which is what I did last night, where I was on the floor sleeping in my office. Sleeping in the obviously yours, Arthur. And she's still there with me to this day. It's nice. I'll tell you what, guys. We are doing a horrible disservice to the younger generation. If you're like me, well, then you're 35 and secretly hiding the resume you're building from your boss. I don't enjoy my job. Where I was going after that. Let's skip over that. Who cares about that part? Because that's not what I'm trying to talk about. Anyway, my point is this. I was a child of the 80s. Now, I host a trivia night once a month over in Brooklyn. And I had a category that was devoted to the music that the 80s gave us. The greatest accomplishment in music, which is, of course, hair metal. Now, of the 8 teams, 6 of those teams got 1 or less of the questions right. Which means that if you're in your 30s, is there anybody here in their 30s in this audience? There's a few. We are doing a horrible disservice to the rest of the generation in here. Because you guys don't know the awesomeness that is the guitar solo. You don't know the awesomeness that is the lead singer letting you know there's going to be a guitar solo by screaming guitar. You don't know the awesomeness that is the guitar solo leading to the greatest thing that the 80s gave us, the air guitar. You cannot air guitar to Coldplay. I tried. You just look suicidal. Without hair metal, we would walk into a jungle and nobody would welcome us. Without hair metal, we have no idea where to pour our sugar. On me is actually the answer we're looking for there. Without hair metal, we would just assume Dee Snider would take it. Without hair metal, there would be no Pam Anderson sex tape. That's right, because you know why? Tommy Lee would be nothing but a guy working on his dad's garage doing oil changes before he headed out to smoke pot in the parking lot of the clinic where his 15-year-old girlfriend was getting her second abortion. I might have gone dark there. I might have gone to a very dark place. Afterwards, hey, why don't you come up to me? I'll tell you where I think Phil Collins would be if Peter Gabriel never left Genesis. Yes, it involves sucking dick for rent money. My name is Arthur Carlson, and I'm not a child molester. Let's bring Michelle back up here.